The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Welcome to the Absolutely Not podcast, where we do the most and the least at the same damn time. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not podcast. Hope you're doing well. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. How are you? How are you? Wow, vocals are drier than I expected. I made myself a nice little cappuccino this morning. I am wolfing down some agua, trying to stay hydrated from my hellacious honky-tonk weekend in Nashville. So much to get into. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss something that's been weighing on my heart recently. And we're also going to get into the Absolutely Not line. You guys are fucking crazier than ever. As always, you can call into our Absolutely Not voicemail line, 800-213-7503. I'm curious if you guys are feeling like you're in this weird stagnant energy the way I am. And I'm not trying to sound woo-woo, frou-frou. You know, I'm buying crystals somewhere in New Mexico vibe right now. And not to start the podcast off on a serious note, because we are obviously laughing over here all the time to push down the pain of reality. And I know this is escape for a lot of people, but I do think it's just a healthy reminder. Listen, I just feel like over the last week, 2 weeks, I've just had lots of friends going through some heavy shit. And, you know, I'm okay right now at the moment. I mean, I'm dealing with work stuff that's frustrating and having to put on my big girl pants and take on a large responsibility of making very large, you know, financial purchases and game time decisions for things. But that's okay, you know, richly blessed. I'm very, very grateful that I'm in a position to hire people and it's great. But it is, you know, I hate to say, you know, I mean, some of us don't. I'll be fucking blatantly obvious and honest. I don't know. I can't use my words. Being an adult can be scary sometimes. And I think what a lot of my friends now on the other side of the coin are realizing, you know, a lot of us now are in the parental role. And whether it's us taking care of our parents, whether it's making decisions for our parents, or you're a parent and you're dealing with your kids. And I'm not trying to be heavy. I've just in the last like 48 fucking hours, just heard of a lot of sadness from people that I love and care for and friends. You know, people are sick, going through divorces, trying to figure shit out with their businesses. It's just been a heavy, heavy emotional week or two of people around me that I care about. And I just wanted everybody to take a minute today. We're only 2 minutes and 51 seconds into this fucking podcast, and we're already getting emo. Take a minute today. Call somebody you love. Call a friend and just check in with folks. I feel like everybody just needs to take a second to pause. Let's center ourselves. Let's ground ourselves. Go get a cup of coffee with your damn Aunt Linda. You know, we know she drinks a lot, but give her a buzz and see how she's doing. Just been a lot of heaviness. And I've had random phone calls over the weekend of just shit people have been going through. You know, you try to be a good friend and you try and empathize and sympathize. And you know, my job in life is to take people out of their shit and to make everybody giggle. But I also think it's been a healthy reminder for me this past weekend just to take time for the people that you love. Text your brother, your sister. Hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. Hope you're having a good day. Because I just feel this heaviness right now. There's a lot of people in my life that are just going through some heavy stuff, and it's not dramatic. It's health stuff. It's divorce. It's whatever. You know, I think things that we saw may be coming, and this is not me airing anyone's dirty laundry. You know, I've got plenty of friends that are going through shit. But, you know, I've had other friends who are, you know, dealing with their parents who aren't well. And anyways, all that to be said, just take the time. Take an extra 5 minutes out of your fucking day. Put down the hot dog and just phone a friend. Do you need the nitrates? Do you need them? You know, you pulled over to a Checkers to get a chili cheese dog and some curly fries. While I believe that's a great decision, also not a great decision. You know what I mean? You're sitting in your car, wolfing down some sous vide egg bites from Starbs. And you know how much I hate saying Starbs, but I am. Because I won't use their full name, allegedly, because they'll probably sue me. You're eating some sous vide bites, having a mocha whip. Call somebody in your life and tell them that you're thinking of them. Because I just have had a real, you know, extended friends who've lost a loved one, and just people around me have just been going through some shit. And so I just was really reminded, and I said my prayers last night, and I was reminded, take that extra time. Everyone's busy. Everyone's going through shit, but pick up the phone. And y'all, life is short. I ain't got beef with nobody right now. You know what I mean? When people are holding on to beef, unless it's a prime rib that you bought off your boy Mark, who's the butcher in town, because you know Mark hits that good slab of meat. If you've got beef with somebody, it ain't worth it. You know, I see this dumb shit on the interwebs. People like, is Heather talking to Melinda? I'm like, yeah, I talk to everyone. I don't have a single beef with nobody. The only person I have beef with is Satan. And you know how I feel about him? I'm embarrassed for him. I don't even not like him anymore. I'm just so fucking embarrassed for how embarrassed he should be. There's nothing worse than being embarrassed for someone. You know what I mean? I'm not disappointed. I'm not angry with Satan. I'm just embarrassed. Because I see what he's doing. He's trying to meddle and stir the pot in my friends' lives. And it's not okay. So Beelzebub, if you hear this, I got my breastplate of righteousness on and we're not fucking around. You know, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but have you ever like not said a prayer in a really long time and then you get on your knees and you're talking to God and you're like, I'm sorry I haven't checked in. You know what I mean? Like I was saying a prayer for a friend who's got a very sick family member, and I was on my knees, and I'm not making it about me, but I said, Lord, me apologies. Because the problem is things have been good. We've been cooking. We did the wedding. We've been vibing. Things have been good. And I think sometimes we forget we need to talk to the Lord when it's good and bad. We can't just be rolling up. It's like the bitch you cry wolf. You always got that friend, Melissa. Melissa's like, you never hear from the bitch until the house is on fire. Well, hey, Melissa, it would have been nice to hear from you, I don't know, at my baby shower. But no, we only hear about you when your 6 DUIs just have been posted on the interwebs and you got to wear an ankle monitor and blow into a tube to get into your Honda Civic. You know what I mean? That's how the Lord feels about us some days. Hey, bitch, where you been? So just a friendly reminder. Even if shit's going great for you right now, pick up the phone, call somebody you love, say a prayer to the Lord. Lord, thank you for my blessings. We all just need to settle, ground, have a sandwich, and say, I'm in this. I'm in this. Anyways, the only person I have beef with is Satan. Straight up. Truly. We Gucci, we cruising. I see when the dark side's trying to meddle with people that I love. You know, there's illness. Also, just go to the doctor, everybody. Just get a quick check. You know, maybe a thumb up the butt and a quick look behind the eyes. Just everybody, we all partied hard this summer. We were all traveling. Everybody, let's just call our primary care physician if you got one. I don't. I'm going to call my urgent care. That's 2 states over because that's the only, I met this woman once in a urgent care in Birmingham, Alabama, and she was lovely. So I'm going to see if she can get me in next week. You know what I mean? We all have long haul COVID. I think that's 90% of the exhaustion. It's all long haul COVID. Last time I had COVID was like back in March, and none of us have been right. So whether the government's poisoning us or Satan, everybody just call your local urgent care, go in, get a swab of your pussy, you know, your penis, and your mitochondria. And let's just do we need vitamins? Everybody just grab a vitamin. I don't know. Go in your cabinet, find a loose pill. I feel like we need the vitamins, the hydration, and say a prayer. And that's just, sometimes we got to have a healthy reminder to also do not just take a loose pill. Okay, that was a joke, obviously. I am not responsible for what you put in your mouth. You're all fucking adults and need to get your shit together. Anyway, speaking of getting your shit together, I was in Nashville this past weekend. And Great time. We went up to go see John Mulaney, who's an incredible comedian. If you've never seen his specials on Netflix, he's awesome. My buddy Dan Levy was opening for him, and Dan and I are working on a project together. So it was great. It was great to go up and see comedy. And, listen, I'm getting back on the road. We're about to announce where we're shooting the special. And it's really important to go see other comedy and to go see other art. And I've just been trying to fill my tank with joy in the world of art. I'm going up to New York. I'm going to go see a bunch of Broadway shows. Like, I'm a fucking theater nerd at the end of the day. So I'm just trying to absorb and see as much as I can. But we got to talk about Nashville for a second. All right, we got to talk about Nashville. I love Nashville. One of my favorite cities to perform in. I fucking love Nashville. It's such a great town. I have so many friends that live there from EMMYS. So we went up, and listen, I've been honky-tonkin' for a long time. And I have these theories about Nashville. Everybody fucking acts like they found Nashville. I sure as fuck didn't, but we've been going to Nashville for 25 years. All right? If you're from Atlanta, you drive up to Chattanooga, you stop at Ruby Falls, see Rock City. You know what I mean? Maybe you hit a Pigeon Forge, a Gatlinburg, Tennessee moment, and then you cruise up to Nash Vegas. But there has been an infiltration, and I'm not the first person to be the whistleblower on it. In fact, I'm probably 10 years too late. The Broadway, where the honky tonks are, it's just women screaming in bachelorette parties. And we know this, okay? I'm not trying to be hacky right now, starting some bit about this, but literally I was just like, there's too many fucking people here. And everyone's so wasted. Like, we used to go down to Broadway, go down to Acme bar, we'd see live music, maybe we all have shit kickers on, but we're vibing. We go to get some hot chicken afterwards. I mean, this is 20 years ago. Now you show up, all of Broadway, it's just like very commercialized, which makes me sad. And then all you hear is Kid Rock, which that's fine. But I'm like, where's Tanya Tucker? Where's my girl Trish? I'd like a little Trisha Yearwood, a Martina McBride moment. And the whole place just has that, that sweet smell of vomit when somebody would throw up in your elementary room, and then they'd bring that powdered solution to put in the carpet. And for the rest of the day, the room smelled like almost like a mixture of sweet cherries and granola that had been sitting in a hot Subaru on a summer day. Like somebody left their yogurt parfait just melting in the goddamn sun. I just told you to pray earlier, and now I took the Lord's name in vain. So my apologies. Satan was trying to toy me there. That's what all of Broadway smelled like. And so we went and saw the show at the Ryman, and it's kind of catty corner to Broadway, and we're lining up. And I almost had to immaturely plug my nose because I was getting that waft of that sweet. And I said, Tina, you know what that smells like? And she goes, yeah. The carpet cleaner when a kid vomited. And it was always the kid Chad every fucking time. And you're like, Chad, you're allergic to nuts. And this was before you couldn't go to school with nuts. Like, you had an active allergen in your class. But back in 1995, no one gave a fuck. Kids were stronger. We just we would just see Chad turning purple, and we would all grab an EpiPen because we all just had one. You know what I mean? Also, our parents sent us to school with loose needles, and that was bizarre. And we would all just be simultaneously, stabbing Chad in the back of the nape of the neck. And he was fine. He always bounced back. He, went down for about 20, but he was up and at him. You guys know that kid, Chad. He was allergic to everything. But his parents never thought to, A, send him to school with Benadryl, or B, do an allergy panel. But again, this is 95, 96. 96, I think I was in the third grade. And nobody gave a fuck. You know what I mean? I got a friend who's in school, her kids are in school, and there's a dairy allergy. And I have read the pamphlets. I have read the at-home brochure of what she is allowed to bring for her kid to school, because there is a kid in the class with the dairy allergy, and it's overwhelming, y'all. It is like, these kids are they're sucking on apples and a prayer. That's all they can have. Maybe a turkey roll up and a prayer. And then there was this thing, because apparently Chick-fil-A the other day, there was a cross-contamination with the supplier. So then they all got an alert. You can't send your kids with the Chick-fil-A grilled nugget because they've been touching dairy. All I'm saying is parents are on their shit now. When we were sent to school back in the day, we were renegades. We were motherfucking renegades. there was like 6 autistic kids in your class, but nobody knew because we just didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? And you think, had we known what we now know now, maybe we could have supported our community in a different way. We just didn't know. We just didn't understand why the kid Drew was like 6 feet tall in the 3rd grade and would read like a telephone book every day at lunch. And you're like, this kid's Mensa. You know what I mean? We didn't know. We had no idea anybody had an allergy to anything. Didn't know what a learning disability was. I mean, I was over here. We'd get to multiplication. I would just fucking pass out, and somebody would hit me with an EpiPen. I was allergic to math. Horrible joke, but I'm actually going to go with it and leaning into it. I used to bribe my 5th grade math teacher, Snickers bar. She had a little bit of she had a strong sweet tooth. I knew how to play the game. But man. So anyways, back to these young bachelorettes on Broadway. They're cut from a different cloth. These cats start drinking at 8 a.m. and they don't fucking stop. And they're barfing in the streets and just going back in. I used to puke and rally and I'm not proud of it. Can't do it anymore. But back in the day, yeah, I could. And that's disgusting and I'm not proud of it. But I'm just letting you know. But now as an elder in the community, as a 35-year-old white woman, I now look at these young women named Madison, Sullivan, Celia. I don't know. I'm just coming up with kind of Gen Z names. And I look at them and I go, get your fucking shit together. Take this outfit from Brandy Melville and your knockoff boots and go take a nap. We got to clean up this city. Also, we were laughing so hard because we were driving down like Music Row. So we're all like, we're ASCAP, the SAG offices, SAG-AFTRA, and we're all like the music companies, the publishers, the licensing companies, basically all the record labels is what I'm trying to say. There's this one strip, it's near Belmont University, and it's just all these record labels, and they have big banners outside. So if they get a number 1 hit, it'd be like, Reba McEntire went number 1 with her song Fancy, whatever. There's just banners everywhere. And they're all in like these old homes. And so we were driving down Music Row and everybody's got their banners up and you can tell like which record companies are like crushing it. And you're like, oh, you got Luke Combs over there, like they're crushing it. And we were just laughing. We're like, what if you lived a block over and every day you went out for your motivational walk, you had to take a break from your at-home Zoom for a company that you hate and you're walking down Music Row and you're just seeing winners everywhere. Number one, top 10 in the charts, fucking we've got 7 number 1 artists over here. And you're just walking down the street, just looking at all these posters. And you're like, I moved to Nashville 20 years ago to pursue music. And now I'm selling medical devices in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It would just be fucking torture. We saw a bunch of power walkers and I'm like, they better have their breastplate of righteousness and helmet of truth on right now because I couldn't do that walk every day. It's just like winner's row. And if you were like getting out to clear your mind, to have a moment for yourself, and all you got to see is everybody doing great around you, I wouldn't even stop at the crosswalk. I just let a truck hit me. You know what I mean? I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. I'm like, if I was on a power walk that day, I'd have to skip these 8 blocks because it would just make you feel so fucking shitty about yourself. But I kind of feel like now maybe we should take the power back and we should set up banners outside of our house. I mean, people do that for their kids. Johnny's on honor roll. I'm going to put a sign outside my house. Haven't had acid reflux in a week. Winner. That's the other thing I feel like as adults, we don't just pat ourselves on the back enough for surviving. Do you know what I mean? And we're all in this weird space where like, towards the end of the tour in May, I was sick of hearing my own voice. You know what I mean? And it's so exciting. And I was so grateful for like the stuff that's going on. But I'm like, somebody tell me about themselves. What's going on? I got to get out of my own anxious head. You know what I mean? But we don't take enough time to just pat ourselves on the back for doing it. I cleaned out the fridge today. Go, Michelle. We're surviving. We're all adults here. Watching youth being wasted on the young, these young bachelorettes in their Brandy Melville outfits, barfing on the back of one of those bachelorette buses in Nashville when I'm just trying to go to brunch. And the honky tonk, I was poisoned by the honky tonk. It took me down, okay? We went out to this fabulous restaurant in Nashville, East Nashville, called Good as Folk, Folk, Folk. But we had beautiful wine, but we had cocktails. And then I ended up at a honky tonk drinking beer. 2 Mick Ultras. Your girl thought she was going to die Sunday. And maybe I'm just jealous of the young kids out there with no cares except their allergies. I don't know. Maybe I just kept getting rolling in of bad news all weekend of friends who were going through shit. And I was just feeling, I'm sweating down here. I don't know what to tell you. I'm literally, the air conditioning broke downstairs right now. And so it's 85 degrees right now and I'm sweating and I'm having a hot cappuccino and I'm a little bit emotionally spiraling today. But I'm trying to be here and I'm trying to give you good sound advice, which is don't take your next bride to Nashville. It's closed. Enough. They have enough shit going on. That whole town is going to be sprinkled with that powder that you had to put on the carpet in elementary because a kid with a peanut allergy ate a Ritz cracker with a little nut butter. Don't take down a great town. You know, whatever happened, can we just, everybody just go to Vegas? Go to Vegas, stay there. Enough. I'm also bitter I didn't have a bachelorette. I'm kidding. I did. I had like 7, but not really. But I didn't need one. Again, I'm sick of it. What's going on with y'all? For fuck's sake, I'm sorry. It's a fucking spiral. I got 2 friends going to divorce court this week. 2. That's insane. You know, a lot of us are making big decisions and they're positive, but they're also scary. So I just wanted, in a nutshell, leave Nashville, quit going there and screaming all over town and barfing all over the place. And 2, call your friends. Check in on your friends and your fam. And 3, I can't hang like I used to. Like I had one of those, I didn't even drink that much. That's the thing is alcohol does not affect me anymore. Like I don't get drunk. Do you know what I mean? I get a little loose, feeling good. And y'all know me when I'm working. She ain't drinking. You know what I'm saying? Said this a million times. People think like I'm partying before the shows. I'm like, no, that's my job. I mean, we were drinking really nice wine, great cocktails, but damn, if I don't take a DHM detox, if I don't take like 8 supplements before I go to bed, I can't function the next day. So I made the joke on Monday as we were leaving Nashville. I made the joke. I was like, maybe I'm just going to like not drink. And everyone at the table choked. They were like, yeah, okay. Okay. But I'm not a big drinker. Never have been. But when I have the drink, they just take me down. Fully fucking down. So anyways, I'm just spiraling. I apologize. You guys, you can just leave a bad review. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to please a lot of people right now, but the only person I need to worry about pleasing is the Lord. You know what I mean? But listen, absolutely not. We can talk about real shit. I'm not a clown, Michelle. Even though a lot of y'all tell me dance, puppet, dance. Do I have a pair of tap shoes in the back of my trunk at all times? Yes. Do I have a plethora of wigs that I'm staring at right now? Yes. But am I a real person who's feeling a little anxious because there's a lot going on and I'm also anxious about how y'all are feeling? Because I know that the energy feels a little thick. And it was 110 fucking degrees in Nashville this week. I don't know what the fuck happened. You know, the earth is on fire. And so are our hearts. So pick up the phone today and call somebody you love. Listen, I'm going to get out of my own head about bullshit. Let's get into the absolutely not line. Hope you guys are doing better. We're going to turn things around. Things are going to be okay. But it's just we sometimes need that reminder. You know what I'm saying? Look up from your own bullshit. Look out. And check on your buddy. And get the fuck out of Nashville. Because the people in Nashville don't deserve you barfing all over Broadway. And that's on God. I'm not saying don't give them tourism money, but when you go to Nashville, behave yourself. I love that city. I love the people, one of my absolute favorite cities to perform in. But respect it. I literally saw a woman. They have these buses. They're like open air, almost like old school buses. And they've had to cage them in. Before they were just like, you could sit on almost like the back of a giant tractor trailer, but people were so fucked up that they had to start caging them in. So there are these like drunk women named Amelia with their sashes on, their Bachelorette sashes, just barfing through cages while these cars are blasting Shania Twain over and over again. I feel like a woman. And I'm looking outside of my hotel just going, nope. It's 110 degrees. The only way I'm getting on the back of one of those bad boys is if I have a Camelback and a sandwich for when my blood sugar dips at 2. Do you know what I'm saying? We got to check ourselves. Everybody call your primary care physician and just get your vitals checked. We're all dehydrated. We all need vitamin D. And we all need to go outside, put our feet in the grass, and take a chill pill. Let's get to the voicemails.
Heather, have I got a story for you? Could be an absolutely or an absolutely not, just depending on how you feel about it. I am Danielle. I live in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm an occupational therapist at a hospital. So I had brought my purse to work. I hang my purse by our back door normally at night. And anyway, I go to work all day. At the end of the day, take my purse, bring it into my car, and I reach in there, and I see something, looks odd. I don't know what it is. I shake it around, and I see a face. And I thought, holy shit, a mouse got into my purse at work. That is disgusting. So disgusting. So I shake it around. The thing is alive. So I call my husband, quickly hang up. He can't do anything about it. I take my purse out to the parking lot. I dump it out. It's making noises. And I see that there is a bat in my purse that I had to have taken from home somehow because there'd be no other way a bat would get in there. And I took a bat to work at a hospital all day, kept it in my locker, and could have gotten bit if I went in my purse and would have had to go straight to the ER for rabies, released it from my locker. But long story short, no kidding, 2 months prior, I was chased by a deer trying to save my Shih Tzu and my mini Labradoodle.
Danielle, this is literally the most Virginia bullshit I have ever heard in my life. I didn't know what you were about to say. I'm rolling through this voicemail like, okay, got a little critter in the purse. A motherfucking bat? Bitch, how does a bat get in the Balenciaga? That thing had to fly in. I'm trying to process this voicemail. You work in a hospital. You had a bat in the Balenciaga sitting in your work locker. And you know what this terrifies me the most about? Obviously, like, we could have spread the next disease. And no hate, no shade to bats. But after the COVID, I think we're looking a little side-eyed at a fucking bat. I don't care if it's a baby. I don't do a lot of cave diving or cave dwelling. But if I get to the opening of a rock, I run the other way because I'm not about to get bit by a bat. I'm not trying to be patient zero at the next great pandemic. How the fuck, bitch, where are you living? I've been to Richmond. It's a nice place. What kind of bootleg barn are you storing your designer bags in that a bat could get in it? Bitch, this makes no sense. This whole country needs Jesus. And you know what's even more terrifying is this is why I only carry tiny purses. If you know me, you never see me with the big bag. Okay? I don't travel with the big bag. A duffel, yes, that attaches to my away luggage. But I don't fuck with I always have a tiny purse because I have the history of putting so much shit in a bag. Like you can hear me jingle jangle, chinkle chankling all the way down the block. You remember that teacher that always had her keys on a long rope, and they'd sometimes put them around their neck, and you heard that heavy set of keys bouncing in their coach bag? And you're like, Miss Miller's here. Everybody shape up. She's coming in the class. That's what I try and avoid. Because if I allot myself more than I'd say, 4 inches deep in a bag, I need to be able to carry a small wallet that I get from Papini in Florence, which is my leather store, 2 lip glosses, a mini hairbrush, and a cell phone. I am not allowed to have a bigger bag. I'd say bigger than a French baguette. Half. Maybe a sourdough loaf. No bigger than that. When you started to go into these college football games and NFL games and, concerts, I never have to worry about my bag. My bag's always regulation. Can't be bigger than like a large index card because I can't. I know my limits as an adult. I know if I can put it over my shoulder, it's a wrap. It's mini bags for life. And this is a good example of why you should only carry a small purse so a motherfucking bat can't get in it. And here's my first thing. When you said you got in your car and you saw eyes staring back at you, I have goosebumps. My pussy is clenched. I feel like I'm going to be sick. I would have taken that handle of that bag, thrown it so far across the parking lot, the parking deck. I don't care. I would have been on camera outside of this hospital looking like a sociopath. I still get in my car. It could be broad daylight. And I still do that thing where I turn around and just start hitting in the back seat. Pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean? In case there's an intruder. In case there's somebody lurking in my back seat. I've seen enough fucking, episodes of how some bitch went missing. I don't even approach my car from the driver door. I always go around the trunk and look in the back seat. You see that the 2020 special, some woman gets in the Honda, done thing twice, halfway down the road. There's a perp in her back seat. Now we got to worry about bats in the bags. What's next? You're going to be sitting having a cup of coffee. You got a gator nipping at your ankles. He's under your patio furniture. You don't even live in Florida. That's insane. Holy shit. Can you imagine though? Yeah, and you work in a fucking hospital. Do you understand the lockdown? Do you even understand? Like, I know that you're now calling me being like, I don't know how the fuck this happened, but can you imagine if that thing would have gotten loose in the hospital? Forget it. For national news, bitch. Your ass would have been on Good Morning America, 7 a.m. with probably a bigger story about how you survived the bat attack. And Danielle, you seem like you got a good face. I can tell from the energy of your voice. You're a pretty girl. You could have been mauled. You could have been mauled. I would imagine this had to be a baby bat, though, for it to fit in the bag. Oh, my God. I'm itching. I'm literally, hold on. I'm hitting the back of my head. You know what I mean? I'm just starting to itch. That is fucking wild. That's wild, dude. Bat in the Balenciaga. Cat in the coach. You know what I mean? I don't even have words. A duck in the Dior. What's next? And out of all the animals, could have been a rodent. I don't fuck with rats, rodents, mice. It's not my jam. It's not my thing. The tails fucking freak me out. Be one thing though, if you had a rat or a mouse, you could blame on the hospital. You could be like, guys, a critter got in my bag, but a bat, you brought that from home. And we all know you did. Because you're living in some loosey-goosey barn. And this is the other thing. I know too many white women right now who are trying to have their own farms, and it's fucking weird. It's weird. They're going to like normal fucking neighborhoods in suburban America, and they're just getting llamas. Enough. Enough. It's fucking crazy. And here you are, Danielle, being an occupational therapist on Monday. But from Friday at 5 p.m. to Monday morning at 8 a.m., you think you're Betty motherfucking Crocker. You're pioneer woman. You're not. You like to watch Selling Sunset like the rest of us. You already said you had a Shih Tzu, strike one, and a little golden doodle or a labradoodle. Enough. You don't need to fill that barn. You live in a gated community. Your HOA already hates you. And now you're bringing nocturnal night creatures into the mix. This is shady. This is fucking shady. Wow. Bat in a bag. And here I was stressed out about life. But guess what? You know what's in my tiny Prada purse right now? Nothing but gloss and a loose cig. Just the way I like it. I just did not expect that call. I didn't see it coming. I know y'all didn't see it coming either. Holy shit. Everybody dump out your purse. Great. Okay, this is a great reminder today. Call somebody you love. Check in on the folks around you. Stand outside, get vitamin D for 5 minutes, and check your purse. This is a great moment for everybody to go clean out your bag. What I would suggest, take a beach towel, put it outside, whether it's your apartment, your condo, wherever. We're cleaning purses outside. I don't care how fucking hot it is. Put down a beach towel, dump over the bag, shake it out. Maybe take a nice wet wipe, some Lysol spray, hit the inside, up. Let's clean it out. You know what's also great? Wash your fucking makeup brushes, you dirty, filthy whores. I found a crusted concealer brush at the bottom of one of my bags. And I was drunk enough in Nashville to use it to touch up an under eye. And my eye's been a little crusty since. I'm not proud of it. Wash your makeup brushes, call your loved ones, make a list, and clean out your fucking bags. There could be a bat lurking. And you know who I'm going to call when we find out we're not even on monkeypox? We're on, llama lesions. I'm calling Danielle from Virginia. That's the most Virginia shit I've ever heard. Y'all want to shit on Florida, but look what we're doing in Virginia, for God's sakes. Lord, help us and save us. Let's get to the next voicemail.
Honestly, Heather, I really want to just move to an island away from fucking everyone, because everyone is so fucking annoying. And I would literally, truly, honest to God, I would move to an island and live off of the land. That's how fucking over I'm so over everyone. Everyone is pissing me off, except for my boyfriend. I love him. I would take him with me to the island. But truly, I honest, other than that, shit, people can come visit, but I don't want to be around you that much. I can't be around you this much anymore. That's how much you're draining me.
This made me laugh so hard. This bitch is done. I don't even know your name. I feel like I'm getting a Jess vibe. You know what I mean? Not Jessica. I'm getting a Jess vibe. She's like, bitch, I'm fucking done. I hear you. And I'm trying to be encouraging and have a reminder episode here to call your loved ones, but also you may be on the other side of the coin. You may just say, bitch, I'm out. I'm fucking done. But I love that you kept your priorities straight. You still know that you need to get dick down even on island time. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what island time is when you get down, you're on vacation. We're Irie, man. We're not going to rush to breakfast. We're going to get up leisurely. We're going to slow down. We're on island time. I'm going to get a pina colada 5. I got nowhere to be. I'm going to relax. I'm going to pump the brakes and take care of me. You know what I'm saying? We could go to lunch at 1. We could also stroll up from the beach at 2:30. We're on island time. We're chilling, bruh. But I love that you kept your priorities straight. You're like, fuck everybody else. But if you think I'm not getting dick down, well, I'm right by the beach, boy. You're out of your mind. And see, you're a smart cookie, Jess. Very smart cookie. I hear you on this. There are days when it's too much. Dude, I got friends with kids and they would gladly take you up on that. Meanwhile, I'm telling you, hug a neighbor. Give a pat on the back to your uncle. Or don't. Or tell your whole family to fuck off and just bounce. Some days you also need that. I struggle with personal space and being able to shut it off sometimes because I too am always kind of surrounded by people. And even at my home, I don't ever really get like 10 minutes to myself. And I don't want to hear it. Somebody's going to say, wait till you have kids. Wait till you have kids. That's why I don't have them yet. The anxiety's through the roof. I hear you. You know where I go? Turks and Caicos. I'm trying to go this weekend. But I got a lot of work on the plate. If I can juggle both, I will be beachside with my buddy Jorge. Shout out to Jorge. I will be there. It's probably going to be a game time decision in the 10th hour. Now I think I have a photo shoot scheduled for Thursday. Very exciting, but I feel fat as a house. I'd love to turn my brain off, go to the Turks, get on the back of the Black Mamba, cruise on that sexy beast for 2 hours, go out to a sandbar and turn my phone off. Because everybody some days needs something. I want to walk in the door one day and not have to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? I hear you. And everybody with kids is like, when you have kids, you can't even take a shit alone. I know. 1, don't ask me when I'm having children because I have no eggs. And 2, lay off me. Jess and I are about to take a one-way ticket to the Turks and Caicos because we're sick of it. But you bet your ass we're bringing our boyfriends. I didn't say Jeff, boyfriends. I'm kidding. Oh, God, I couldn't imagine having to try and date again and get dicked down by random dong. To all my single ladies and gentlemen out there, God bless you all. That's the dice I'm not willing to roll right now. Do you know what I mean? But fuck. Jess wasn't fucking around. She's like, I'm done. And Jess, you sound desperate enough or exasperated enough to like take a Carnival cruise to the next destination, which is already risking your life. But if you got to get on the cruise and deal with the 8 a.m. buffet filled with people who also hate each other, but then say you get off in Jamaica and you just don't get back on the boat, I think that also might be the call. Do what you got to do to get to the island. I could live off the land too. And by land, I mean I would go to the fish fry every Thursday and, let them feed me. But I'm a Pisces, I'm aquatic, I'm one with the water, and I need to get back in. I need to tap into my roots, AKA let my feet get wet, roll around in the sand a little bit, exfoliate the eczema on the back of my legs, and maybe turn the brain off for a minute. I will call a loved one this week and tell them I appreciate them. But also, if you're on the other end of it and you're like, oh, no, fam's good, everyone's an asshole, you are also allowed to just tell everyone to fuck off and go to the ocean. You know what I mean? Take some penis with you or some pussy, whatever you're into, but you're also allowed to just tell everybody to see ya. All right, let's get to the next voicemail.
Hey, Heather, this is your friend from somewhere with a name because I can't even process who I am right now. So I have a teenage girl. And if anybody else has teenage girls living in this day and age, it's tough out there in all types of ways. And let me tell you, I have been patient. I have given this child space. I have accepted her for all of the things that she wants to be whenever the fucking day she wants to be it. And yesterday, I absolutely had it. I was picking her up from work. Yes, she has a job. So proud of her. It's wonderful. I'm so excited. And I turn back because we're having a conversation and we're engaging. And I look back and guess what is around this child's neck? But a goat pentagram. I had it. This child has no idea what she's wearing. She thinks it's funny. She thinks it's edgy. She thinks she is somebody. Well, I about had it. And I said, no, this is where I draw the line. I cannot handle this anymore. You have got to get it together because I will not have that in my house. I will not have it. You have no idea what you're doing. I rebuke you and that BS and your teenage angst out of this situation. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not going to survive. I'm not going to survive the teenage years. I can't do it. And so what did I do? It went in the fucking trash. It went in the trash. And I told her too. I said, put that shit in the trash because it has no place in our house.
Sister friend, I understand wholeheartedly. See what Satan did there? Trying to comfort the youth. The exasperation on everybody's voices this week. I get it. It's the energy. We feel it. Dude, teens, I don't know how y'all do it. One of my buddies was saying that his daughter's like 13 and she's in a great spot because she, he's like, one day she loves me, the next day she didn't want to be around her dad. And he's like, she's good this week. And I know as a parent, you cherish those moments when your kids are kids. But then what is it? Why is it, especially girls? We hit 14, 15, we just become raging nightmares. Dude, I will never forget. Okay, I was a little bit of a goody-goody. I'll never forget. My sister and my mom used to butt heads just because Ashley was older. You know what I mean? And my mom's telling her, Ashley, don't have fun. Don't go to the mall with your degenerate friends. And I know I've told this story before. And my sister got a job at this Italian restaurant. And we pulled up to come surprise her at lunch. And my sister, at like 16, smoking a cigarette on her break outside of the restaurant. I thought my mom was going to drive her Jaguar Vandenplas, which was like she drove a red Jaguar through the fucking chain Italian restaurant. Do you know what I mean? I'll never forget. My sister and I still laugh about that shit all the time. And Ashley's out there like 16 with like her older, restaurant friends, just like smoking a cig. And Robin was like, put it out. Ah! Just losing her shit. And I'm in the back seat like, you got caught, Ashley. And then Ashley's like, fuck you. I'm not driving you to school Monday, you little narc. I thought it was hysterical though. I'm like, bitch, smoked a cigarette at the back door, not the front door. Truly, to this day, one of the highlights of my life was seeing my sister's eyes. Just like she dropped the cigarette. I thought Robin was going to drive her car into the establishment. Take out the front 10 banquettes. You know what I'm saying? But dude, your daughter... And it's hard. It's a win. You're parenting. You're like, all right, they're being nice to me today. It's, you have Stockholm syndromes for, I feel like, certain periods, right? When they're an infant and they need you in the middle of the night, you have Stockholm syndrome. You're stuck. You're like, this baby's making me nuts. Then they become fun little creatures and critters and have personalities. Then they turn into teenagers. I know every stage of age, I have friends that have kids at all ages, and they say every age and stage of life has a different challenge, right? But they definitely say those teenage years, and these kids are getting wilder. We used to party, but again, if my kids do 1/10 of the shit that I did when I was in college, we'll be in a crate. Microchip their ass immediately. But you're telling me, sister friend, you get in the car, you pick up your daughter from her job, which is probably she's working at a kiosk at the mall, right? Maybe running the front desk of an Orange Theory, maybe just folding towels. And she's got the devil around her neck. Rip it off. You pull over that Tahoe immediately. You say, Isabel, Bella, get out. We're not messing with Mom. Come here real quick. My mom just walked into my office. Remember when I said I needed some space, Mom? Yes. Real quick. Do you remember the time that we walked up to Ashley's job? You were in the red Jag and you caught her smoking a cigarette outside her job. And what did you almost do?
I almost strangled her right then and there. Yeah.
And what did you scream?
Get that out of your mouth immediately.
In front of all of her like older coworkers, and you embarrassed the shit out of her.
Too bad. Mums see everything.
A woman just called in and her daughter is really testing her, and she had a goat necklace on with a pentagram, devil symbol.
Oh my God.
What would you do?
I would rip it off her neck and I would go get some olive oil, bless the olive oil, and bless her.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
And what do you mean exactly by the olive oil?
You know, you put oil on their head. I don't know. I saw it on YouTube, and I guess
you mean you anoint them?
I would anoint them. Yes, I definitely would anoint her.
Now, real quick, just a question for the other parents out there who also have children that are fallen by the wayside of Beelzebub. Can you take any oil? Can you take like a peanut oil? Can you take a sunflower oil? Can you make anything anointing? You need to explain it because people don't know that you can anoint anything. Can you do peanut butter? No. Can you do a thick cashew nut butter?
No, Heather. I think it has to be olive oil. It doesn't matter. You're the parent. Take control of your kid. Otherwise, we're going to have all these little shits putting us in crappy old nursing homes when we get old. Take charge now, parents. You're not their friend. You're their mother. Remember that.
But now you're my buddy.
Yes, I am, Heather, because you turned out to be a good kid because I was, yes, I was a Gestapo with you, but I had to be. It took, 15 hours to push you out?
But again, Mom, you are so ADD. You still have not explained to us the anointing oil. This woman's trying to keep her child saved by the blood of Christ. What I'm trying to say is Robin has pulled out a bottle of olive oil out of her bag and has anointed people. She'll just, if you're at lunch with us and you go, they found a lump. You know what she's doing? Pulling olive oil out of her purse and rubbing down your breasts and anointing.
Well, God told us that we could come to him. He said, my people suffer from lack of knowledge. So all he wants is a relationship with you. Go to him.
Okay, she did not explain. Walk away. Mom, I'm doing my business. Where are you going? To get your eyelashes done?
Yes.
You look cute.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Again, gave us no facts, no details. I asked her one thing in a jokish way, and she is I'm so sorry. Robin just gave her testimony. No, this bitch is literally, if you're like, yeah, I've got this weird ingrown hair on the back of my neck, and I'm a little worried about it. Robin she has done this to people who are like, she's done this to my friends who are like Jewish. She's like, I don't care. Jesus was a Jew, and just starts dousing you in oil. Remember when you remember when it was a thing? I mean, if you go to Italy, it is a thing, but remember when we made it a big thing here where no matter what restaurant you went to, whether it was a Maggiano's or an Outback Steakhouse, everybody brought you bread and you had a little thing of olive oil. Robin has dipped a French loaf in the olive oil with the oregano and just started blotting you like it's a makeup sponge on your face. Oh, you got acne? Let me bless you. That's what nutty Italian Christian mothers do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I've told you, Italian moms are very much like Jewish moms. We're all cut from the same cloth, guys. We know this. But that's what you need. You need to just listen with teens, literally. Religious jokes to the side, but also I don't know, it doesn't matter what religion you are. Go to anybody, your rabbi, anybody. Take whatever oil, you know, as Gentiles, we use the olive oil because Jesus lived by an olive grove. I guess that's why. And you have your priest, somebody bless it, put that shit in a spray bottle and just start hosing down the teens. You know, you're at a high school football game. They're running out of it's like, and let's welcome the Mountain View Tigers. Just, we need a parent there just spraying all the kids. Because these kids are making bad decisions. And it's not their fault. What, Mom? You have to come speak into them. She came back in. She's interrupted me 6 times. What?
Look, I have to tell you, what does God say? He says the devil has no hold on you. He'll have a hold on you if you open the door and let him. But what did Jesus say? Jesus said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So as a parent, you just take authority over your children. I'm sorry, Heather, you can laugh, but that's what I used to do.
I know. Yo, she left. She started her car to get her eyelashes done, and she came barreling down into the basement and busted in my office just to say scripture. Shut my door, Mom, please. This is why, you guys, this is why I've got an outside office. This is why I had to get an outside office. Listen, you got to love the passion. Passion of the Christ, passion of Robin McMahan. Dude, I was giggling, and then she just came in. She's like, the Lord's speaking to me. Oh my God, that made me laugh so hard. Lord, that is funnier than shit. So funny. Dude, I'll tell you right now, being a teenager, my sister and I always had good relationships with my mom. You know, the oldest one always pushes the boundaries a little bit. And then I think as a younger child, I kind of watch, I'm like, all right, well, Ashley, all right, she snuck out the window. I will do that in like a year or two, but I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I'm still 8th grade, a little goody. And then I'd watch how she'd get caught, so then I wouldn't make the mistakes. And then she thought I was like not cool. And I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm just not going out the same door you went out. You know, I'm shimmied up the chimney because I saw you get caught on the roof. You know what I'm saying? As a baby, everybody thinks we're stupid, but really we're just watching it go down. It's like, oh, does that taste bad? You taste it first. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? Only youngest children who are listening right now will totally understand. But Robin just got convicted. But let me tell you, Ashley and I always had great relationships with Robin, but I turned into a bitch one day. I called my mom, literally, I was like, you know my mom? Fuck you. You won't let me go to the mall with my friends? You're a fucking bitch. Slapped me so hard across my face. She immediately started crying. I started crying, and then we just held each other in the pantry for like 45 minutes. And if you think I will ever live that down, I will not. Never really talked back to my parents. Was not one of those. Definitely fear of God. But also, like, my parents were cool. You know what I mean? There was a lot of mutual respect. But the day I stepped out, what'd you say, Mom? You won't let me go to the mall with Mary Beth? You're a fucking bitch. Bop. She filled up a bathtub with the Costco Kirkland brand gallons of oil and said, sitting there. We need to exercise the demons. Ooh, these children play. These children play. But yeah, Mom, I don't know how you're doing it. You're already dealing with the teenage attitude. Now she blatantly wants to say she's rebelling against the Lord. We don't have time for that. You said you're all about your children figuring out who they are, expressing themselves. But you know what we're not going to express? Satan. Embarrassed for him. He's not going to get us. Because you know who's filling your head with self-doubt? The dark one. I'm living in the light. And I understand I have people who listen to this podcast of all denominations. Whether you're Hindu, you're Muslim, Jewish, whatever. Whatever that dark art is, we're not dealing with it. Whatever that is in your spiritual journey, we're not dealing with the dark art. Don't let him in. Doesn't matter what it is. However you feel about that, we need to live in the light. You know what I'm saying? You open the door. And sometimes you can't get it shut. And you know why? Because these teens, they go to Hot Topic. Dude, remember when Harry Potter came out, though? Dude, you got to remember, when Harry Potter came out, and I went to like this like uber Christian school that was like kind of a nightmare. And my parents were cool. Like my mom, like all jokes aside, Robin's been like, love the Lord. You know, we'll do a prayer circle real quick. But we also not judgmental. You live your life. You know what I mean? Live, laugh, love. But don't bring Satan. I will rebuke Satan immediately. Don't bring that in. But remember when Harry Potter came out and everyone, oh my God, all the crazies were like, it's demonic, magic. And I remember being like, it's really not. Now, J.K. Rowling apparently turned out to be a real cunt and a half, but Dude, that was so wild, remember? Everyone was like, you can't see Harry Potter. I'm like, can a bitch just live? You guys make fun of me because I don't read, and now I read, and I'm into it, and now I can't see the movie. Our school wouldn't let anybody. You like couldn't bring Harry Potter to school. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, this is exhausting. But a goat pentagram necklace, that is blatantly like, hail Satan. And we're not about that. Rip that off that Jezebel's neck and tell her, guess what you're not getting today? Cold Stone Creamery. Because I told you, I pick you up from work, take you to Cold Stone, where they put that delicious vanilla cream on a marble slab, and then they just chunk pieces of cookie dough and Oreo in there, and then they sexily slide it back, put it in a cup, and send you on your merry way. And you know what you're not getting? Cold Stone today, you little shit. Do not test me. Do not test me. Oh, these kids. I mean, there's got to be something in the energy. We had a woman find a bat in her purse. We got another bitch just on a raft to Mexico. And then this woman is dealing with the child who's trying to bring the king of the underworld into her car. You got to take that car immediately to a car wash, and then you got to get a Kirkland size, Costco sizing of olive oil. Just drive by a church. If you just have the olive oil in the back of your trunk, just circle the parking lot in a church 3 times. That's anointed. And then you just douse it. You just put it on the tires. You dunk your kid in it and you say, listen, go upstairs. And when you come down with a good attitude and the breastplate of righteousness, then I'll let you go to Cold Stone and see your friends, you little shit. I don't know how parents do it. That's the other thing too. Everybody's always like, let me tell you what my kid did today. Let me tell you what my kid did today. And then you guys want me to have kids. I don't get it. Again, fertility is low. But again, I don't get it. Honestly, this podcast, if you really dial it back, it kind of makes you not want to leave your house. Like, these streets are rough. But it's okay. Because we're giggling. We're not taking ourselves too seriously. And we're calling a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I love and adore you. And I'm glad that I'm glad this is a safe space for y'all to bitch. I'm glad that we are figuring out the world's problems. But I think this is just a healthy reminder this week. Take a second, put your toes in the grass. Go to Costco, get some anointing oil. Do you know where your kids are? Great reminder. Check your purse. Clean out your filthy bag. Ya hussy. I'm bringing mini purses back. Maybe it's time to hit the synagogue. Speak to the Lord. Maybe it's time to go to a service. Maybe it's time to volunteer, you selfish tink. You know what I mean? Maybe we all need to give back and get some good karma going in the earth. Because if we don't put the good karma out, we're going to end up with our flying creature in our purses. God, I still can't get over that. Also, I just love that this woman called in and said that her child was her teen. She's like, I'm doing everything. I'm trying to be the nicest, coolest mom. And then this bitch pushes my buttons with the Undertaker. You know what I mean? No. Dude, there were so many times when I try and push my parents' buttons. And you know when you're a parent, because you know it as, even if you don't have kids, when your parents, you knew what would push them to the next level. When you got caught, when you said that one thing and you just see their eyes roll back in their head, you're like, this is it. This is it. Fucking buckle up. We are on a wooden roller coaster right now with limited seatbelts. You knew every single time you pushed your parent, you knew exactly what went too far. And to this day, even when my mom gets upset with me, it kills me because she knows what to get back at me with. I'll be like, Mom, I'm sorry. I love you. And she'll just go, I'm glad. I mean, we never fight anymore. We never fight. But you know what I mean? My mom also knew the one thing to say to me. And I'm like, my mom doesn't love me. And then 10 minutes later, she's like, I love you to death, but you're a little shit. And that's why I live with her. You know what I mean? That's where we're at. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the 5 pillars. Communication, get a calendar, roles and responsibilities, business ventures, and wellness. That was from last week's episode on Tap of This Takeover. But I'm looking at my whiteboard right now. But what are the 5 pillars of this week? Maybe this should be a new thing. Clean out your purse, wash your makeup brushes, get some anointing oil. Do you know where your kids are? And I'll see you right by the Beach Boy. As always, you can call into the Absolutely Not line, 800-213-7503. Guys, we're going to be getting guests back on the podcast, but I'm trying to wait to get this podcast studio so I can really get people in person. But I love you. I mean it. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you on the next episode. Arrivederci, ciao bella. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave a review. And as always, follow me on Instagram at Heather K. McMahan. See you guys soon.